What if I told you that the plants most likely to feed your family aren't towering apple trees, sprawling peach orchards, or even the pear tree in your backyard? What if the real food powerhouses were tiny, almost invisible, capable of producing more than a fruit tree ever could, sometimes from a single pot on your porch? Most gardeners obsess over fruit trees, nurturing them for years, battling pests, pruning meticulously, waiting for that elusive harvest. And yet, hidden beneath their gaze, a world of compact, explosive producers thrives quietly, plants that can outyield any tree in pounds per square foot, cost per pound, and hours of labor invested. Today, I'm going to show you 20 of these incredible plants. Some are so prolific, they multiply themselves automatically. Some will keep giving week after week, season after season. Wait until number 13, you'll see a plant capable of producing hundreds of fruits from a single stalk. And number 20, it can provide a relentless, almost never-ending harvest from less than the space of a doormat. Let's begin. Number 1. Strawberries. Perhaps the most familiar plant on this list, yet one of the most overlooked as a food security powerhouse. A single strawberry plant can yield around 3 pounds of fruit per season. But here's the secret. Strawberries send out runners long horizontal stems that root themselves and become entirely new plants. One plant becomes 5, 5 become 25, 25 become 100. While fruit trees sit dormant in their first few years, strawberries quietly multiply, creating an army of producers. June-bearing varieties give you one massive flush of fruit in early summer, perfect for preserving. Ever-bearing varieties produce smaller, continuous harvests, ideal for the table. Strawberries were underestimated because they're familiar a garden treat, but when you run the numbers, they are among the most efficient, self-replicating food machines on the planet. Number 2. Raspberries. This is the vertical yield machine. Unlike sprawling fruit trees, raspberries grow up, not out. Their tall canes allow gardeners to pack them into tight rows, extracting incredible yields from narrow spaces. Primo canes produce the first year, flora canes fruit in the second, creating a continuous cycle. Summer-bearing and fall-bearing varieties extend harvests from midsummer to frost. Plant bare root canes in spring, and you could be harvesting in just 18 months, a pace no fruit tree can match. Most avoid raspberries because of their thorns, but the rewards for understanding this plant's biology are enormous. Number 3. Blackberries. If raspberries are polite and tidy, blackberries are bold and relentless. 2 to 3 pounds per plant annually is conservative. They root wherever their tips touch the soil, grow in poor conditions, and fruit heavily, even in partial shade. Thornless varieties like Triple Crown and Chester eliminate the main objection, painful harvests, making blackberries an almost self-sustaining, high-yielding shrub. Historically, wild blackberries were avoided because of their invasive reputation, yet managed properly, they are the ultimate productivity plant. Number 4. Blueberries. Patience pays off with blueberries. A mature bush can yield 10 to 20 pounds annually from a compact shrub, far more efficiently per square foot than an apple tree. The catch is their preference for acidic soil, which means gardeners must amend naturally neutral soil or use raised beds. Blueberries teach the difference between patience and wasted time. Plant at least 2 varieties for pollination and extend your harvest window across weeks. These bushes are a decades-long investment, quietly feeding families year after year. Number 5. Currants. Almost forgotten in American gardens, currants, both red and black, are dense, productive shrubs that fruit heavily within a few years. Black currants, in particular, are nutritional powerhouses, packed with vitamin C far beyond oranges. Once legally banned due to concerns about white pine disease, currants vanished from mainstream gardening, leaving generations unaware of this super productive, resilient shrub. Number 6. Gooseberries. Currant cousins, equally forgotten, gooseberries pack a massive yield in compact bushes. Clusters hang from every stem, ripe with balanced sweet-tart flavor. Hardy, tolerant of poor soils, resistant to pests, they are garden gold waiting to be rediscovered. Their disappearance from American gardens is tied to the same historical panic as currants and a post-war shift towards supermarket fruits. But for those who plant them, gooseberries are unmatched for compact, productive harvests. Number 7. Honeyberries or haskap. One of the earliest fruits of spring, these shrubs ripen before strawberries, cherries, or most other garden fruits. Cold hardy to nearly unimaginable extremes, Honeyberries provide oblong, deep purple fruits with a complex flavor between blueberry and raspberry. Relatively new to mainstream American gardening, honeyberries offer early-season nutrition and decades-long yields for those willing to adopt them before everyone else catches on. Number 8. Lingonberries. Tiny, evergreen shrubs from Scandinavia, they grow 6 to 12 inches tall and produce clusters of bright red berries. Their tart flavor enhances savory dishes, and their high nutrient profile makes them a Scandinavian staple. Lingonberries thrive in acidic soil and spread slowly, creating a perennial ground cover that's practically maintenance-free. Missed by modern American gardeners, they are a secret superfood hiding in plain sight. Number 9. Aronia or chokeberry. Once planted as an ornamental, aronia is now hailed as a superfood, though most don't realize the berries are edible. A mature shrub can yield 15 to 30 pounds per year, is cold-hardy, disease-resistant, and thrives in difficult conditions. Packed with anthocyanins, aronia is one of the most antioxidant-dense foods available. Forgotten because it was ornamental, this shrub is a powerhouse for anyone who recognizes its value. Number 10. Sea buckthorn. Once known mainly for medicinal uses, compact sea buckthorn varieties are incredible food producers. Branches bend under densely packed, vitamin-rich orange berries. Juice contains more vitamin C than multiple oranges. Plant a male and female, and you have a harvest capable of supplying a family with some of the most nutrient-dense foods in the world. Historically overlooked due to remoteness and commercial unavailability, sea buckthorn rewards early adopters with extraordinary returns. If you're starting to see the pattern, here's the thing. The most productive plants aren't always the tallest or most majestic. They're the ones that grow quickly, reproduce, and demand little attention. Number 11. Pole beans. Vertical protein factories. Trellised pole beans use the airspace above your garden, fix nitrogen into the soil, and keep producing continuously as long as you harvest before seeds mature. In a small trellis, you can supply a family with fresh beans multiple times per week for months. Humble yet relentless, pole beans turn vertical space into a productivity goldmine. Number 12. Peas. Cool season champions. They fill the gap when most vegetables are dormant, producing sweet, tender pods in early spring and late fall. Trellised vertically, peas deliver a high yield per square foot and offer unique flavor and protein that most commercial produce lacks. Historically undervalued, peas quietly ensure fresh food during otherwise empty months. Number 13. Cherry tomatoes. The hundreds of fruits plant. One vigorous cherry tomato can produce hundreds of tomatoes in a single season, often multiple pounds per week. Staked properly and given full sun, they reward gardeners with relentless summer-long yields. Flavors surpass store-bought tomatoes, and the volume is staggering. This is productivity in its most visible, delicious form. Number 14. Cucumbers. Trellised vertically, cucumbers maximize space, improve air circulation, and keep fruits clean. A few plants on a 6-foot trellis can produce dozens per week. Harvest young, harvest often, and the vine continues producing. Cucumbers are undervalued because they're seasonal and don't store well, but during summer, they outproduce nearly everything per square foot. Number 15. Malabar spinach. Tropical heat season leaf factory. Not true spinach, but a vine producing thick, succulent leaves all summer long when most other greens fail. Properly trellised, it supplies a family with fresh greens for the entire heat season. Malabar spinach was overlooked because it's tropical and relatively new to mainstream seed catalogs. Yet for those who plant it, it fills the summer greens gap effortlessly. Number 16. Kale. The plant that never stops. Cut outer leaves, leave the center, and it keeps producing for months. In mild climates, kale grows year-round, regrowing after light freezes. Nutrient-dense and cold-hardy, kale is a cut-and-come-again marvel. It was once considered livestock fodder, then a trendy superfood, but in truth, it is one of the most productive perennial greens available. Number 17. Cut-and-come-again lettuce. The fastest return on investment in the garden. Loose-leaf varieties can produce harvestable leaves in 3 to 4 weeks. Succession planting extends production across the cool season. Small pots or flats can provide daily fresh salad greens for weeks, at a cost nearly unmatched by any grocery store. Number 18. Beets. A double harvest plant. Eat the greens early, then harvest roots later. Roots store exceptionally well, providing food well past the end of the garden season. Quick growing, frost-tolerant, and flavorful, Beets reward gardeners with 2 crops from a single plant, one of the few true double-duty vegetables. Number 19. Swiss chard. Months-long green producer. Cut and come again leaves from early summer to hard frost, with colorful stems that beautify the garden. Low maintenance, highly nutritious, and consistent in yield, chard proves that persistent, easy-to-grow greens can anchor any productive kitchen garden. And finally, number 20. Green onions and chives. The harvest that never ends. Plant once, harvest forever. Dense clumps regrow rapidly after cutting. A tiny container can supply weeks of fresh onions and herbs. Neglected by many as mere garnish, these plants are nutritional heavyweights that fit anywhere, delivering more than most think possible from such small space. These 20 plants redefine what it means to grow food. They're compact, efficient, low maintenance, and shockingly productive. They prove that you don't need an orchard to feed your family. You need knowledge, smart selection, and a willingness to grow what truly produces. Which of these 20 plants will you add to your garden this season? Will you try the berry shrubs, the vertical vegetables, or the never-ending greens? Drop a comment and let me know. And if you want more insights on growing more food in less space, spending less, and building genuine food security, subscribe and join the community. Because the knowledge is here. The seeds are available. The power to produce more from less is waiting at your feet. Thank you for watching.